am Milaka Noor and I am Riya Savji. We are hosts for today. Before we start with TED 2.0, let us honor our country. I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem. Bharat Mata Ki. Thank you. You may now kindly take your seats as we begin with the program. To begin with this wonderful event, I would now like to invite our respected CEO, Nilofer Chauhan ma'am, to address the gathering and deliver the welcome speech.
A very good morning to all. Okay, good morning. Thank you for the lovely greetings. When young minds dare to think and young voices dare to speak, the world stops to listen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the WIS TED Student Talk Edition 2.0 2026, a platform that celebrates the power of ideas and the courage of young voices. At Wisdom High, we believe that every child carries within them a thought, a perspective, or a story that has the potential to inspire change. Today's event is a celebration of that belief, a moment where our students step forward with confidence to share ideas that matter. The journey to this stage has been truly inspiring. Over the past few weeks, our students have explored ideas, reflected deeply, refined their thoughts, and worked tirelessly to transform them into meaningful talks. Through guidance, practice, and mentorship, they have not only learned the art of speaking, but more importantly, the art of expressing ideas with purpose and conviction. We're deeply honored to have with us our very own parent, Dr. Shrishti Vijayan, as the chief guest for today. Your presence, ma'am, adds great value to this occasion and encourages our students to believe that their voices truly matter. To our dear parents, thank you for constantly nurturing curiosity, creativity, and confidence in our children. Your encouragement empowers them to think freely and express themselves boldly. And to our wonderful students, today is your moment. Each talk that we will hear today reflects your courage, creativity, and the belief of ideas. Remember, sometimes the smallest idea can spark the biggest change. As we begin this inspiring journey of ideas, I invite everyone present here to listen with open minds and open hearts. Because today they're not just listening to speeches, we are listening to the voices of future. Without further delay, let us begin the much awaited WIS TED Student Talk, and over to you, my dear children. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for a warm and inspiring welcome address. Now, I would like to invite our academic coordinator for High School Cambridge, Tejal Ma'am, to introduce our esteemed guest for the day.
Thank you. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our distinguished guest for today's TED program, Dr. Srishti Vijayan Ma'am. Ma'am, we welcome you to Wisdom International School. Dr. Vijayan is a highly accomplished ophthalmologist and healthcare leader based in Nasik. Ma'am has completed her MBBS from Government Medical College, Miraj, followed by her MS in ophthalmology from prestigious Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, and later earned her diploma of National Board in Ophthalmology. Ma'am currently serves as a medical director at Vision Hospital and Research Center, where Ma'am plays a key role in ensuring high standards of patient care, hospitality quality systems, and clinical excellence. As a consultant ophthalmologist and a cataract surgeon, Dr. Srishti Vijayan Ma'am specializes in advanced cataract surgeries, including sutureless and phacoemulsification procedures. Along with her clinical work, Ma'am is also actively involved in medical research and aesthetic practice. Beyond the hospital, Dr. Srishti Vijayan Ma'am is deeply committed to community health and public awareness. Through Vision's unique healthcare foundation, Ma'am leads initiatives that promote CPR training, emergency preparedness, and the installation of automated external defibrillators across Nasik, working towards the vision of building a heart-safe city. Ma'am's inspiring journey beautifully combines medical expertise, leadership, and a strong dedication to public service. We are truly fortunate to have an inspiring personality with us today to share her thoughts and experiences. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Srishti Vijayan Ma'am. Can we have a big round of applause for Ma'am? We are very honored to have her with us. I request our esteemed chairman, chairperson, CEO to kindly come forward and felicitate Ma'am with a small token of gratitude. We welcome you, Ma'am. Please join us. Parents, can you have a big round of applause? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Over to my dear kids.
Thank you, ma'am. TED is a platform that celebrates the power of ideas. It encourages young minds to think deeply, ask questions, and share their thoughts with confidence. Today, our friends will present ideas that they are passionate about, ideas that they have carefully researched and practiced over the past few weeks. Each talking here today carries a message. Some may inspire you, some may make you reflect, and some may even encourage you to see the world in a completely new way. This stage is not just about speaking, it is about expressing ideas that matter. So sit back, listen with curiosity, and enjoy this journey of ideas shared by our young thinkers.
Before we begin our series of inspiring TED Talks, we have a special performance lined up to set the mood for the day. In today's world, we often judge beauty by appearances, social media filters, and what we see on the outside. But true beauty is not defined by looks, clothes, or trends. Real beauty lies in our kindness, our courage, our thoughts, and the way we treat others. This song is a reminder that every person is unique and beautiful in their own way. It encourages us to look beyond appearances and recognize the beauty that lies in each one of us. With this thought, Grade 10 would like to present their song, Who Says You're Not Beautiful?
What a wonderful performance. A big round of applause for a talented performance, for setting for a vibrant and energetic performance for the night. Thank you for that beautiful presentation.
Before we move ahead, we have a small activity called Ripple Cards. After listening to the talk, we invite you to write down one key takeaway, idea, or thought that inspired you the most. Something you'd like to carry forward in your life. The idea behind this is the ripple effect. Just like a small ripple in water moves outwards, one powerful idea can spread from one person to many others. By writing your takeaway, you're capturing the idea that created a ripple in your mind today. And that idea might inspire actions, conversations, or change beyond this event. I request Bobini ma'am to come forward and acquaint us about the rules of TED Talks.
Good morning, everyone. To make the show a little more enjoyable, there are a few rules that you need to follow. Kindly switch off your mobile phones or other electronic devices and to avoid distractions. This is a platform for students to share their ideas. Let's create a supportive environment by listening attentively and encouraging the speakers. Please feel free to clap when a speaker is introduced and after they finish their talk. Avoid interrupting the talk with applause when it's unnecessary. Show engagement by maintaining eye contact with the speakers, nodding and reacting appropriately. Avoid side conversations or distractions. The event is documented professionally. Please refrain from using your phones or camera to take pictures or videos during the talk. If you need to leave the hall, please do so between the talk to avoid disturbing the speakers. And finally, enjoy and be inspired. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, without further delay, let us move ahead to the most exciting part of today's event, our TED Student Talks. Please welcome Master Ishan Chajan of Grade 6, who is ready to share his idea with all of us today. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hello.
plus AR is equal to AI. Sounds a little bizarre, but don't worry. We aren't going to use any mathematical skills to prove this equation true. Let me start with a poem about my first AR. From the primitive days of fire and stone, we know so vastly grown. The human race journeyed far, from the dawn of time to a digital star. But now, as we stand on the crossroads, a new force which is at play, artificial intelligence or AI, a child of our people under the sky, a machine that thinks, learns, and creates a whole new world of possibilities awaits. Artificial intelligence is a set of technologies that empowers computers to learn, reason, and perform a variety of advanced tasks that used to require human intelligence. It is a transformational technology bringing positive and meaningful change to people, societies, and the world. This gives us all a lot of resources and answers to all our questions. And this information is now available to all of us. So what changes? What makes one of us better than the other? That's exactly what my second AI is about. Let me explain with a real life example. A few months back, I was roaming around in my dad's packaging factory when I suddenly thought, what if we could make a house that can hold like a box? I imagined it and went running to my mom to tell her this bright new idea in my mind. She heard it, paused, and started laughing. She ignored it, saying it was just not possible. And I got back to what I was doing without a second thought as all my excitement fizzled. And then, 2 months later, bang! I saw the exact same idea being developed by someone and backed by Elon Musk himself. Another instance, when I was playing with Lego blocks, and I suddenly thought, what if we could make bricks like Lego blocks? Once again, I went to my mother and said, what if we could make bricks like Lego blocks? It would be faster, super efficient, and a lot less messy. Once again, I was turned down. She said it was not possible, and I got back to what I was doing without a second thought. And I saw the exact same idea being developed by someone. Now, I was a little disappointed, a little irritated, angry mostly. But that day, I realized something. A power I had within. A power greater than artificial intelligence. The power of one amazing idea. So the next time I got an idea, I didn't go running to my mom. I thought about it, researched, and gathered 2 of my friends to start working on it. It's called BrainX Paris. There is a slogan in the Bhagavad Gita. Uddhare Atmanatmanam Natman Amavasyare Atmeva Yatmano Bantu Atmeva Ripuratmanam. In this verse, Krishna urges Arjuna to rely on his own mind to rise above challenges rather than falling victim to fate and inaction. The same applies to us. Our mind is the powerhouse, and we must work towards idea rather than suffering due to inaction and falling prey to fate. So many times does it happen that we encounter a small problem and we just adjust with it rather than thinking about it and solving it. As it is said, an idea can change your life. So now that you've heard my story, you know that my idea was not born from a machine, but rather my own brains. And once it was put to use by someone else, thanks to you know who, it is the perfect example of a powerful synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. It has a human contribution, our unique empathy, intuition, and creativity. So really, the correct term is collaborative intelligence. As true magic happens when humans and artificial intelligence work in a continuous cycle where humans provide the role and oversight and artificial intelligence provides the data-driven insights and the execution speed. So AI was not a threat to my creativity, but rather an amplifier for it. If and only if I believed in my idea and started working on it. So, now that you know my story, you know the entire thought process behind it. I would like to encourage everyone here to use collaborative intelligence as a transformative force in shaping India's future across various fields, may it be education, disaster management, smart city infrastructure, or transport. India is building a strong base to leverage collaborative intelligence by the thought of Viksit Bharat by 2047 for inclusiveness and sustainable growth. So the next time you get an idea, hold on to it. Don't let it go like I did. Because AI plus AI equals AI. That is artificial intelligence plus amazing ideas equals an awesome India. So, not mathematically, but metaphorically. Not scientifically, but symbolically. Not conventionally, but creatively. AI plus AI equals AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishan, for that thought-provoking talk on artificial intelligence. You encouraged us to reflect on the possibilities and responsibilities that come with advancing technology. Now it's time for our next speaker. Please welcome Master Mandar Thorat of grade 6, who is ready to present his unique perspective. Please welcome our speaker with a warm round of applause.
Have you ever said yes to something even when your heart was screaming no? I have. And for a long time I thought that saying yes was the right thing to do. Because good people don't refuse. Right? Let me take you back to a small moment that taught me a big lesson. During my first term assignment in class 5th, a group of my friends who had not done the homework asked me to help them copy. When the assignment was announced, I had worked very hard to complete it. I didn't want to help them because it would be an insult to everyone who completed the homework on time. But I also didn't want to be called boring or lose my friends. My mind was full of questions. What if they get angry? What if they stop talking to me? What if I'm the only one saying no? So I said yes and helped them in copying. That yes didn't make me feel proud. It made me feel uncomfortable, guilty and stressed. And the worst part, I realized that by saying yes to them, I was saying no to my own values. That was the day I learned something important. Saying no is not rude, it's responsible. Research on fun of another student, I paused. My heart was racing, but I also remember how bad it felt the last time I ignored my feelings. So I said, I don't want to do that. It doesn't feel right. Something surprising happened. The world ended, my friends didn't disappear. And most importantly, I felt proud of myself. In fact, one friend later told me they were glad someone spoke up. That's when I learned another powerful lesson. Saying no can actually earn respect. People may not always like it, but they often respect honesty and confidence. Last Friday, my best friend asked me to join in for a camp in the evening when I was already very tired after my school. I really wanted to rest, but I didn't want to put him down. So again, I was super confused. Saying yes was really tempting, but mentally I was exhausted. Finally, I decided to be honest. I explained my friend that I was already very tired to focus on anything and I wouldn't enjoy myself at all. My friend appreciated my honesty. As we grow up, we need to say no to unhealthy habits, unfair demands, and situations that don't align with who we are. If we don't practice now, it becomes much harder later. But let me be clear, saying no doesn't mean saying it harshly. Tone matters, kindness matters, respect matters. We can be firm and polite at the same time. And just as important as saying no is learning to respect other people's no. When someone sets a boundary, listening to it is a sign of maturity. Today, I still find it hard to say no sometimes. I still feel that pause, that fear of disappointing others. But now, I remind myself of this. My voice matters, my values matter, and my no matters. So, the next time you feel pressure, stop and ask yourself, am I saying yes because I want to, or because I'm afraid to say no? Learning to say no politely isn't just skill, it's a form of self-respect. It's a choice to honor your values, your time, and your well-being. And that's a life skill everyone needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha, for a fascinating TED talk on when yes is a burden. Let's reflect on what we have just heard. I invite everyone to jot down your thoughts, learnings, or any new insights you gained on the ripple cards that were given to you. These reflections will help us capture the curiosity and inspiration sparked by this fascinating glimpse. Thank you. I request the volunteers to kindly collect the ripple cards. Moving on, please welcome Ms. Kari Naparo of grade 6 to the stage. Let's encourage her with a big round of applause.
Hello. Curiosity is often treated as a simple habit of childhood, something that fades as we grow older. But in reality, curiosity is the engine of progress. Every meaningful change in history began when someone refused to accept the world how it exactly was and instead asked a deeper question. Curiosity is not about having answers. It is about having the courage to explore what lies beyond the obvious. How many questions have we silenced in ourselves just because we were afraid of looking wrong, slow, or different? Curiosity begins when we feel a quiet discomfort with easy explanations. It appears when we ask not just why something exists, but whether it can be proved. These questions may seem small, but they carry power. Curiosity has no size. It can launch rockets, build nations, or start global movements. Let me show you what I mean. Elon Musk once asked, why is space travel so expensive and controlled by only a few? Most people would accept the answer. He didn't. He experimented. He failed. Rockets exploded. People doubted him. But every failure taught him something new. Today, SpaceX has changed how the world explores space. Not because of luck, but because curiosity was followed by persistence. APJ Abdul Kalam came from a small town and a modest background, where opportunities were few. But what he never lacked was curiosity. Curiosity about science, learning, and the future of India. That curiosity shaped his journey, turning a boy with big questions into a scientist who helped build the nation and later became its president. His life teaches us something important. When curiosity is guided by purpose, it doesn't just change one person, it uplifts an entire nation. Greta Thunberg asked a question that made others uncomfortable. Why are you not acting seriously on climate change? She didn't have power, she didn't have money. She had curiosity, concern, and courage. One student, one placard, one question. And today, millions listen. Curiosity became a voice. During COVID, when the world was shutting down and uncertainty filled every home, most people were asking, what now? But one woman asked a different question. What do people need right now? She became curious about how to bring joy when people couldn't meet. How a small, thoughtful gift could make someone to remember from a distance. So she began to experiment, not with a big investment, but with creativity and courage. She built it from home because she didn't want to choose between her dreams and her children. Her success didn't begin with money. It began with curiosity. And that entrepreneur who turns simple questions into a successful venture is none other than my mother. And then I realized that curiosity isn't always turn into a rocket, a movement, or a national mission. Sometimes it turns into confidence. In me, curiosity first showed up as interest. Interest in ideas, stories, and people who spoke with impact. Then it turned into observation, watching speakers, noticing how words can influence minds. And slowly it became belief. Every time there was a school assembly, a stage, or a platform like this, I told myself, I shouldn't miss this opportunity. Because every seed that was planted inside me, every book I read, every speaker I watched, every time as to why not me, has brought me here today. TED Talks are not about having everything figured out. They are about ideas in progress. And my idea is simple. Curiosity does not need to wait for the future. It begins the moment you decide to try. So, if there is a question inside you, a thought that won't leave you, or a quiet voice saying what if, listen to it. Because one question can lead to one step to one platform, and one platform can change how you see yourself forever. For me, curiosity has already taken me to a completely different way of seeing life and seeing the world. And that is in fact enough to begin with. Thank you.
Thank you, Karunya, for that wonderful talk. You reminded us that every great creation simply begins with a question and the courage to explore it. Now it's time to continue our series of inspiring ideas. Let us move ahead to our next guest speaker, who is ready to share their thoughts and perspectives with us. Please welcome Master Shivansh More of Grade 6 to share his thoughts with us today. Please put your hands together for Shivansh.
I always thought that having an answer was the same thing as knowing the truth. If a teacher asked me a question, I raised my hand. I felt smart. If someone asked me how I was doing, I just said, I'm fine. The conversation ended easily. Answers were quick, neat, and comfortable. But truth, on the other hand, felt messy. I realized this difference during a group project in my school, where our teacher asked us a simple question. Why did our project not turn out the way you planned? Our group members looked at each other and almost instantly we gave an answer. I have enough time. It sounded reasonable. It sounded safe. And most importantly, it ended the discussion. But it wasn't the truth. The truth was our group hadn't communicated well. We ignored people's ideas, rushed decisions, and waited until the last minute. Time wasn't the real problem. Our choices were. That moment made me think, why do we choose answers over truth? Answers protect us, but truth challenges us. An answer can be memorized, repeated, and accepted, but truth needs
feels uncomfortable and even scary. So when truth takes time, answers fill in the gap. That's why when you message a friend and they don't reply you back, you don't think they must be busy. Instead, you think they're ignoring you. When plans fail, you don't think there are many factors. Instead, you think this always happens with me. These answers may not be true, but they give us a sense of control. But here's where things start to get dangerous. When you start confusing answers with truth. Once I stopped answering in class because the other day I had answered incorrectly and I felt very embarrassed. But here's the truth. Learning involves mistakes, but the answer I picked up was, don't speak up ever again. That answer did protect me from embarrassment, but it also limited my growth. Answers can help you move forward, but they can also hold you back. One of the hardest truths I ever had to face about myself was that I always thought that I was very confident, but deep down, I avoided the situations where I might fail. So, how did I overcome this problem? I simply followed an algorithm which had the following 2 steps. Step number 1. If someone asks me something embarrassing, instead of giving preference to my answer, I would face the bitter truth inside me. Step number 2. Once I'm done facing the bitter truth inside me, I would then judge if it was that embarrassing or not, and it felt less embarrassing. Choosing truth over answers is not a one-time decision, it's a habit. And like any habit, it takes practice. The next time you are tempted to give a quick reply, you can pause and think, is this the truth or just an easy answer? Answers may protect our comfort, but truth protects our growth. In the end, answers can make you sound smart, but truth makes you wiser. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivant, for your thought-provoking TED talk on why the brain needs answers rather than the truth. Your talk encouraged us to think about how our minds search for quick explanation rather than how important it is to reflect deeply about the answer. It was truly an insightful perspective that gave us a lot to think about. Before we move ahead to our next inspiring TED talk, we have a delightful treat for you all. Let us reflect on what we just heard. I invite everyone to jot down their thoughts, learnings, and any new insights on the ripple cards that were given to you. These reflections will help us capture the curiosity and inspiration sparked by the fascinating glimpse into history. Music has a beautiful way of expressing emotion, even without words. We have a special instrumental performance that will let the melody speak for itself. Sometimes in life, we feel like we're standing at the edge of something amazing. If we keep believing in our dreams and feeling beautiful things can go from that hope, believing in your beautiful dreams, even when the future is unclear, your belief can turn possibilities into reality. Our band students are here to perform Let Me Love You, an Indo-Western style with Tarana, based on Raghun Palas.
Hello, my teacher. Hello, my teacher. That was truly amazing. Let's give our talented performers another big round of applause for that wonderful presentation. And now it's time to continue with our series of inspiring ideas. Let us move ahead to our next tenured speaker, who is ready to share his thoughts and perspectives with us. Please welcome Master Arav Jain of Grade 6, who is ready to inspire us with his idea. Let us welcome him with a warm round of applause. Hello.
Let me introduce you to someone. He doesn't knock on doors. He doesn't ask permission. He just slips into your pocket. His name, Brain Rod. He looks harmless. He says, just one video. He whispers, relax, you deserve it. and then, before you know it, 10 videos later, you don't even remember why you looked at your phone for. Sounds familiar? But don't worry, your brain is not actually rotting like an apple. But brain rot feels very clever. One evening, I sat down to study. I was ready, books open, pen in hand, and then brain rot appeared. He smiled and said, "Just one funny video, just to relax." Then that one funny video becomes dancing dogs, then silly pranks, then loud music, then fast flashing reels, etc. And then brain rot sat next to me, saying, "See, this is more fun than studying." But when I looked at the clock, it was too late. The next day, in test, my mind felt foggy. I read questions twice, still could not remember everything what I had studied. That's when I realized brain rot wasn't just stealing my time, it was training my brain. Brain rot is not a monster, he is a habit. He trains your brain to love speed, fast images, fast jokes, fast excitement. He makes your brain say, if it's not fun in 3 seconds, I am bored. And slowly, reading feels slow. Homework feels painful. Class feels long. Not because you are weak, but brain rot has changed what your brain expects. Brain rot works with a powerful partner, dopamine, the brain's happy chemical. Every like, every scroll, every funny clip, your brain gets a tiny reward. And then brain rot whispers, "More, just one more." But here's the problem. When your brain gets too much of fast reward, normal life starts feeling dull. It's just like eating junk food every day. Tasty? Yes, but not at all. So, the real question is, how do we know if this is already happening to us? Let's check it out with a few simple questions. Have you ever opened your phone without a notification? Have you ever felt restless just studying for 5 minutes? Or felt uncomfortable sitting quietly? Then that brain rot tapping your shoulder. It doesn't want you to focus. As when you focus, he loses. Now, let me be clear. Phones are not the villain. Technology helps us learn, grow, connect. The problem is not using screens. The problem is when brain rot starts using us. But here's the good news. Your brain is powerful, stronger than the brain rot. It can change. It can heal. It can be trained to what it was used to. When I started reading for at least 10 minutes daily, playing outdoors, cycling with my friends, keeping my phone out of sight while studying, sitting quietly and breathing, and the most important, helping my mother in household chores. At first, it felt boring, but slowly my focus improved. My mind felt clearer, and studying became easier. When we train our brain with patience, we grow stronger than distraction. So, the next time your finger automatically starts moving, pause. Imagine brain rot starting next to you. Say, "More, just one more." And then ask yourself, who is in control? Me or him? If you try to defeat brain rot and succeed over him, here's what you can do. Train your focus like a muscle. Start with 10 minutes of deep work daily and slowly increase it. Keep your phone out of sight while studying. Distance is discipline. Replace scrolling time with skill building, music, art, coding, sports, studying, etc. Protect your morning and night routine. No screen time, 30 minutes before sleep and long-term success over short-term entertainment. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you grow stronger. Every time you delay scrolling, you build self-control. And self-control is the superpower of successful people. Remember, your brain is powerful, it is creative, it is intelligent. Don't let it drown in an endless scroll. Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful talk, Arav. You raised an important question about the impact of excessive online content on our minds and attention. Please welcome Master Reyansh Nagar of Grade 6, who will share his thoughts and ideas with us. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Last year, I visited the beautiful city of Dubai. It is known for luxury shopping, ultra-modern architecture, and lively nightlife scenes. I explored the beauty of Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, Dubai Frame, Palm Jumeirah, and Atlantis. We also visited the city of Abu Dhabi, where we visited Warner Bros, Ferrari World, and SeaWorld. I was excited to visit the Museum of the Future. I witnessed the best technology of the world there. It expressed the changes that will affect the world till 2050, which included developing cities and green energy forests. It was fabulous, but something was wrong. I could only admire the development of technology, not humans. Humans were slaves to the technology. The trip was excellent and we returned back to India, but I was still in the drama of the future I saw there. Technology is often celebrated as humanity's greatest invention. It connects the world, saves time, and gives us endless information. But today, I'm here to expose a darker possibility. Technology, if overused, becomes the master of our future. Let's talk about dependence. Technology was designed to assist human intelligence, not replace it. Yet, many of us no longer try to remember facts, solve problems, or even get bored. I still remember the first time I used ChatGPT to complete a composition. My sheet was blank except the title. A CD leaving through my drawer. My mother's selfie. Out of panic, not curiosity, I typed the prompt into ChatGPT. Within seconds, a story appeared. It was not just a story, but a good one. Clean opening, strong imagery, and confident ending. I copied it and impressed my English teacher and friends. I was praised in the class. But instead of feeling proud, I felt oddly disconnected. Like I had crossed the finish line without even participating. According to a Pew Research Center survey of US teens, roughly 1 in 5 teens who have heard of ChatGPT reported using it for their daily schooling. At first, I told myself it was a one-time thing, a rescue mission, but the next week I used it again and again. I stopped rewriting. When inspiration did not come instantly, I did not wait. I prompted. Once, while writing a poem, I spent 10 minutes struggling with a single line. Normally, scribble it out and try again. This time, I sighed, copied the stanza into ChatGPT and asked it to make it more poetic. The result was beautiful, but it was in my mind. And the scary part was, I did not feel guilty. I felt relieved. Creative writing is uncomfortable. I used to sit on my bed, staring at the wall, wondering why I couldn't say what I meant. That frustration was familiar, almost comforting. That meant I was thinking. ChatGPT removed that discomfort. Why struggle for an essay when one would be generated? Slowly, without noticing, I stopped trusting my own instincts. During an exam, we were asked to write a story. No devices, just a pen and paper. 200 words, 30 minutes. I froze. My hand hovered over the page, but nothing came. No opening, no direction, just silence. I wasn't blocked. I was impressed. Psychologists call this cognitive offloading, when we let tools take over our mental effort. It's helpful when we let calculators handle arithmetic or GPS handle directions. But creativity isn't about the output. It's about the process of choosing, failing, revising, and discovering what you mean by trying to say. ChatGPT doesn't hesitate, doesn't overthink, doesn't feel exposed, but humans do. I noticed a little change in my writing style too. One day, I read 3 different pieces I had written that month. They were all good, but they were strangely similar. Same tone, same rhythm, same safe clarity. They did not feel like someone learning. They felt like someone smoothing. Once, a friend told me that your writings feel less risky now. That comment stayed with me. So I tried something small. I wrote a story about a real memory. Missing a train while my phone died. Standing alone on a platform at night without air. It took hours. The first draft was messy. The ending didn't work. But halfway through, I had felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. Momentum. I wasn't choosing the best sentences. I was discovering honest ones. I decided to push it further for 1 month. I did not use ChatGPT for creative writing. The first week felt like withdrawal, but then my tolerance for uncertainty returned. This isn't an anti-AI story. ChatGPT is powerful. It can brainstorm, suggest, challenge, and expand ideas. But when AI becomes the first voice in creative writing, our own voice weakens. We stop being writers who struggle and become editors who refine. Creativity doesn't grow through comfort, it grows through effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Riyaz, for an engaging TED Talk. Your ideas made us imagine the possibilities of future worlds and encouraged us to think how technology and innovation might shape our lives in the future. It was truly inspiring and thought-provoking. Now it's time to reflect what we heard and write down on the ripple cards. Thank you. Now I request the volunteers to kindly collect the ripple cards.
Moving on with our series of inspiring ideas, let us move ahead to our next started speaker who is ready to share their thoughts and perspectives with us. Please put your hands together for Miss Arzu Gujral of grade 6. Please welcome her with a thunderous round of applause.
Quick question. Raise your hand if you've ever been told to focus on one thing at a time. Okay, keep your hands up. Now, keep it up if you've ever seen an adult watching TV while scrolling on their phone, while asking what you're doing, and then not listening to the answer.
and somehow the TV is still on. Then congratulations, you especially experienced the power of being half-minded. I remember that evening, lights spinning across our kitchen table as me and my mom started facing each other. The conversation simply circling but the daring question. What hasn't the world talked about yet? Everyone seems busy with AI, climate glass, and the next big leap in education and science. She tilted her head and with that familiar spark in her eyes, offered me something extraordinary. The power of being half-minded. What it actually is, why this topic? She shrugged and pointed to this daily theater at home. My mom and my dad, two different narratives. The living room is like a small parliament. He brings convictions, she brings questions, but we talk to discover, not to win. She gently explained that being half-minded helps us to stay open to possibilities rather than rushing to conclusions. She also said it helps us to adapt and stay calm. She encouraged me to share this idea with others. I nodded, not realizing that this perspective could truly change how we think and live. Yes, I'm here to tell you something strange. Being half-minded can actually make your life better. We've all been told to focus on one thing at a time. But what is being half-minded? Not just being fully focused or confused, but to me, being half-minded doesn't mean being careless. It means having a part of your mind open, exploring and wondering. It helps us to reduce and build new big ideas. Like when your mind is split, your creativity is multiplied. When we force ourselves to be fully focused, we sometimes think too much, judge too much, or even panic too much. Being half-minded can help our brains stay relaxed mentally so that we can make better decisions at certain situations. Creativity only happens when the mind is slightly free, not overly loaded. It lets ideas to grow and mixes imagination and logic. For example, you've been studying for 10 minutes. You start with one page, but then you end up with the full chapter. Or raising your hand once. First answer is the shaky one, but then you grow confidence. So the message is, in a world obsessed with more half-mindedness, reminds us that this pressure can also create more meaning. When you're thinking about a song, or a reel, a match, or just nothing, and then someone says, stop daydreaming, focus properly. But I want to tell you something different. What is that half-focused state, that half-mindedness is not a problem, but a power. As teenagers, we are constantly told to be serious. Serious about marks, serious about future, serious about competition. Yes, there is this pressure to be always perfect and productive. But the teenage brain doesn't work like a machine. It works like a creative engine. And teenage creative engines sometimes need pauses. Let's talk about studying. You're preparing for an exam. You've been studying for hours, but nothing goes in. You feel tired, irritated, frustrated, and even angry at yourself. And also, have you noticed when our teachers tell us that this will come in your exam, our mind suddenly remembers everything else. The lunch menu, a memory from 5 years ago, and even a random song. Now, let me tell you an incident which happened with me. A few months ago, I had the most embarrassing and funniest half-minded moments of my life. One day, I was studying for a really important exam. I had studied for hours. At this point, even the walls and memory were smarter than me. But then I reached a question. I just couldn't solve it. I tried formulas, notes, I even called my friend, but nothing worked. Frustrated, I said, forget it. I kept my notebook on the bed and went to the kitchen to make some Maggi. While the water was boiling, my brain suddenly goes like, wait, here is the answer. I literally shouted in anger. Are you serious? You couldn't tell me before when I was studying? But that moment taught me something. My full mind was fully focused and stressed. But my half mind secretly solving the problem in the background, like the shy kid who only talks when no one's watching. So remember this. If someone tells you that you're worthless, you're irresponsible, you're half-minded, don't listen to them. Being half-minded doesn't mean being careless. It means having room to breathe, room to grow, room to imagine. The world already has many people who think that they're better than everyone else. What the world needs now are the people who stay humble, flexible, and strong. Being half-minded isn't just a flaw. It's a doorway. A doorway to creativity, a doorway to imagination, and a doorway to curiosity. So keep that space in your mind. Protect it, because in that space, your best ideas are waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Osman, for sharing such an interesting perspective. Your talk encouraged us to stay curious, thoughtful, and open to new ways of thinking. It is time for our next speaker of the day. Please welcome Ms. Alia Hide of grade 6. Please welcome her.
In your wildest imagination, have you ever wondered if these two words or these two topics could be related? Well, according to me, the answer is yes. The great physicist, Albert Einstein, was a passionate violinist and a music lover. He viewed music as deeply connected to math and science, a way to find inspiration and solve mathematical problems. One of his goals was, if I were a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music, I live my names in music, I see math and science in terms of music. I feel that behind every catchy tune, every beautiful melody, and every powerful chord, there is a whole lot of math. Like in a chord there are issues, in a melody there are patterns. Music isn't just art, it is math in motion. Playing the keyboard and doing math are two of my favorite activities. When my music teacher mentioned that math is the closest thing to music, it got my attention. I played the keyboard since grade 4, and that has helped me a lot in my math class. I could recognize the patterns in any song or music piece almost immediately. I could create them. As my pattern analysis started improving, my ability to solve and understand math problems also enhanced. My music sir said, "You have a great musical sense. Now you can learn any instrument you want." I recently started playing guitar. I found it complicated at first, but now I know that all I need is practice. 5th grade, that was last year, was the year when math started coming more easily to me. I noticed an improvement in my way of approaching the math problems that were presented in front of me. I thought, why not discover something new? I started enjoying math as much as I enjoyed music. I used to think that keyboard was all about notes, but that wasn't the case. Each note is a vibration through the air as a sound wave. The speed of the vibration is called the frequency, which is measured in hertz. The faster the frequency, the higher the pitch, and the slower the frequency, the lower the pitch. Each pitch has a different effect on me. The higher pitch helps me regain my energy after the homework. On the other hand, the lower pitch brings a sense of peace and serenity, calming me. Using the math behind each note, octaves are formed. Each octave consists of 7 notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Each note has a different frequency, but octaves are ratios of each other. If we take 2 consecutive octaves, and the lower octave C is played which has suppose a frequency of 100 Hz, then the higher octave C will have a frequency of 200 Hz. Legend states that one day Pythagoras was walking past a blacksmith shop. Listening to the sound of the blacksmith hammering on a block of iron, he noted that some strikes sounded much higher than the others, and he was certain that there was a mathematical explanation behind the different pitches he was hearing. So he entered the blacksmith shop and saw that there were different sized hammers. Some were large and some were small, but they were ratios of each other. One being twice the size of the other, and the other being 2/3 of the last. After this incident, Pythagoras quoted, "There is geometry in the humming of strings, and there is music in the spacing of spheres." And he declared these relationships as absolute intervals of music. I suppose you all have heard the word rhythm. right? Well, rhythm acts as the heartbeat of music. Rhythm has beat. The beat is a pulse, just like your heartbeat. If you have visited a clinic or a hospital, the doctor or the nurse might have held your hand like this. They hold your hand because they feel the pulse of your heartbeat, which is measured in BPM, beats per minute. If you clap your hands twice in 1 second, then in 60 seconds, that is 1 minute, you will clap your hands 120 times, that leads to 120 beats per minute. And in music, the beat is the thing that makes you clap your hands, tap your feet, or snap your fingers. So, the next time you put on headphones or pick up an instrument, remember the silent partner in all the time. Math. Thank you.
Thank you for that insightful talk, Ariani. You helped us see the wonderful connection between mathematics and music in a way that was both interesting and inspiring. Now it's time to jot down our thoughts on the little cards.
Hello?
Now for our very last speaker of the day, please welcome with a loud round of applause, Miss Vanchika Pawar of Grade 6.
When we were small, asking for help was our default setting. We didn't even try to do things alone. We learned walking by taking a step forward, a wobble, and straight into our parents' carrying arm. No ego, no overthinking, no invoice saying I must satisfy my ego. If our parents said go too early, we protested loudly with tears, dramatic enough to deserve background music. Remember, when you were learning to write, someone held your hand, someone even clapped when you held the pencil properly. As kids, help was normal, expected, and encouraged. Have you ever felt like asking for help is admitting failure? I used to think that way. I believed that if I asked someone for help, it meant I wasn't strong enough or smart enough to do it on my own. I thought independence meant doing everything by myself, even when I was struggling. But one moment changed how I saw everything. It happened last year during the Science Olympiad. When I was learning the syllabus, I opened the booklet and I froze. The questions were confusing and my mind went blank. I could feel the pressure building inside me. I could feel my heart beating my throat. I tried to solve the first question for a long time, but I couldn't. At that moment, I had a choice. Keep struggling alone or raise my hand and ask for help. But I chose to keep struggling. After the exams, I realized I hadn't just failed the Olympiad. I had missed a chance to learn. I had missed a chance to improve because I was too proud to ask for help. So, I decided to change my approach. The next time I didn't understand something, I asked. I asked my teachers, I asked my parents, I asked my friends. And you know what happened? The problem became easier, not because the situation changed, but because I stopped trying to fight alone. And that's when I learned the most important lesson. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strength. So, why do we think that asking for help is a weakness? Part of the reason is pride. We don't want to appear less than. We don't want people to think we are not capable enough. We worry about being judged. But the real truth is, asking for help takes courage, it takes self-awareness, and it takes honesty to admit what you don't know and still move forward. the result is clear. We are afraid that if we ask someone for help, we will be seen as a failure. But the real failure here is not asking, because when we stop asking, we stop learning. Our entire history is built on teamwork and collaboration. Think about it. Every major invention, every scientific discovery, every successful team started because people worked together and shared ideas. If Thomas Edison had refused help, we might not have electricity the way we know it today. If Wright brothers had tried to build a plane alone, they might have failed. Every great achievement involves asking for a lot of help. In the Compass study of candidate secondary school students, 54% reported to refuse help and 38% said they prefer to handle problems on their own rather than talking to adults, showing that wanting to do it alone is a common reason people avoid help. Last year, I remember struggling with a group project. I was assigned to a team and we had to make a presentation on a science topic. I thought I could handle my part alone, but I couldn't. I was stuck. And I was tempted to just stay quiet and pretend I was fine. But then I remembered, if I stayed silent, I wouldn't only hurt myself, I would hurt my team. So I asked. I told my teammate that I'm not sure how to organize these ideas. Can you help me? And she did. She helped me plan the structure and suggested ideas that I hadn't thought of. And in the end, our presentation was one of the best in class. But more than that, I learned that teamwork is powerful when we are honest about what we don't know. When you will seek support, people will see you as real, not as perfect. They see someone who is willing to grow, and that honesty makes friendships deeper. But there is one more reason why asking for help is a strength. It shows that you care about the outcome. It shows that you value your own growth. If you truly want to succeed, you will ask questions. If you truly want to improve, you will seek support. So, the next time you get stuck, instead of suffering alone, try this. Raise your hand, ask for help, and send a message. And you'll realize that you don't have to do it all alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanshika, for that thought-provoking talk on the culture of I can do it alone. Your ideas reminded us while independence is important, teamwork and support are equally important for growth. Your perspective encouraged us to rethink how we work, learn and succeed together. With that, we have come to an end to our inspiring TED Talks for today. Each of our speakers has shared powerful ideas and unique perspectives. We are truly proud of them all. Now, it's time to invite an honorable chief guest to address the gathering and share her valuable insights. May I kindly request you now to please come forward and address the audience.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. So when I was invited here today by Nilüfer ma'am, I gave it some thought, put up some ideas, put up a PPT deck. I thought I would speak on something, and I had some notes. I also had a story to tell everyone. But after sitting here and listening to these wonderful speakers, young minds, I think I just put my talk aside and I have taken notes on the Ripple pad, that is my phone, and I'm going to talk about that instead. The most important things I think these children have already said. We heard voices that were honest, fearless and thoughtful. Children spoke about AI, about kindness, about taking help, about social responsibility and what kind of world they want to be in, I think. And what struck me the most was that they're not just talking about change, they already believe in it and that they're working towards it. As a doctor and someone who works closely with communities, my foundation, I spent a lot of time thinking about healthcare, how it should But the psychological effects that these children were talking about technology has really moved me today. And the future is not something we need to worry about with these children taking charge of everything. These children are curious, they are aware, they are compassionate, and most importantly, they are brave enough to speak on that platform. I think as a 6th standard kid, I would have been shit scared, I would use the word, to stand on that red dot and speak in such a big crowd. But hats off to all of you all. A big round of applause for all the speakers. It was great. Very, very inspiring. So as a parent, both my children are in Wisdom High, and so as a parent, this is the place where I want my children to be, to feel inspired, to feel good about themselves. The children now, I would like to talk about the ripple effect and what these children have spoken about. Rishabh, you spoke about the true meaning of AI. Mandar and Shivansh, you gave us Life Skills 101. Know what is right for you. Self-reflection. One needs to be honest with oneself and respect one's own values. That is very, very important, even if it is uncomfortable. Children, remember, be true and honest to yourself. Sometimes, you just want to go along with what the others are doing. You might be, under peer pressure. Do not fall for it. Then, Karanya, curiosity sparks change, and change is the only constant. It prevents us from being obsolete. Also important is what Arzu added to it, be open to new ideas. Ara, how important it is to train your mind, skill building, and again Riyansh reminded us how technology and devices are a double-edged sword. With focus, we can use them to our advantage. Don't let your creativity and curiosity die and replaced by a prompt. I was honestly very, very tempted to put all of what I had typed into ChatGPT right away and get a speech ready. But I didn't give up to that prompt, and I thought I'll speak from my heart. So Anand inspired me there. Arya showed us how a passionate hobby can coexist and inspire our work. Vanshika, you told us asking for help does not make us small, but opens new doors. And it helps us to get to the end point faster and learn something new. Failures are the stepping stone to success. Remember that. You remind all of us adults what our future is going to look like, and all the best to you lovely children. Lastly, out of my experience, I would like to say that not every idea needs to be new, creative. Sometimes you just need to polish off the old ones and put it up in a new way. So also remember what your parents want to say to you, listen to them. The ideas may be old, you can just refine them and put them forward in your own way, but listen to your parents. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here. I truly feel inspired and blessed to be here.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of encouragement. Now, may I request our CEO and all reserve heads to kindly come forward and felicitate our chief guest.
One more thing, I'm a very fast speaker, so something from the children today is the control and how you speak slowly and how you can put your message. So I'll try and take notes on that as well.
Vision, and all our dignitaries to felicitate our speakers. Please put your hands together for our talented speakers as they come on stage. Master Sean Thakur. Master Mandar Thorat. Miss Karina Parak. Master Shivansh More. Master Arav Jain. Master Reyansh Nagar. Miss Arzu Gujarat. Miss Arya Hidil. Miss Vanshika Pawar. As we come to the close of Best Standard Student Talks Edition 2.0, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed chief guest for gracing the occasion and inspiring our young speakers with their presence. We would also like to thank our respected school management whose vision and support continue to create such meaningful platforms for students to express their ideas.
A special note of appreciation goes to our dedicated mentors who guided our students with patience and encouraged them throughout the academic journey. Our heartfelt congratulations to our talented speakers for their creativity. Finally, we extend our sincere thanks to our wonderful parents and audience for their encouragement, support. This made our event truly memorable. Thank you everyone and have a wonderful day ahead.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I'm pretty sure that these students who have really put up their views and thoughts have left us also to a lot of thoughts. I'm sure that when you go back, parents specifically and students over here, we are definitely going to think about certain things. So I think let's hear a few words from parents also. So I request if any of the parents would come across and express a few words or words of encouragement to students. It will go a long way. I request at least two parents to please come up and express. Yes, sir, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Rahul, and my son's name is Riyan. So my one small, sorry, my throat is not working. So my one small saying to everyone that my childhood I have remember one sentence. परिश्रम 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 और इतना परिश्रम कि आप चाहकर भी गलत न कर पाओ. So I wanted to tell you everyone that without hard work there is no success. So any shortcut any new technology or anything, you cannot achieve anything. So for everything you have to do the hard work. So hard work is the key. So no shortcuts. Please use your own brain, your own technology, your own thoughts. Study well and do hard work. So this is my suggestion to everyone. And as far as the school, so this is the first time. I have not remember that any school is doing a TEDx talk. So in my entire career, so this is the first time, and I really want to thank you and appreciate every management person. So thank you so much, and keep inspiring, keep our children activating in new things, and give some challenges to parents as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. I also request
Hello everyone, I'm Pooja Chajit. My son Prashant was talking today. First, I would like to thank Wisdom High and the entire team. I think they've really worked on every child so that they can stand here today and talk. Because I think if I was in grade 6 and standing here, I would have just stared at the audience and not said a word. So that is like the first thing. The school has taken a lot of efforts. I've seen it myself. Rishant's not been a little well today, but I think they made every arrangement that Rishant would, stand up there and deliver and say what he wanted to do. So thank you so much. Another thing I want to tell all the children sitting here is that you are blessed to have beautiful parents, you're blessed to have such good teachers and such a beautiful school. Please make the most of it. Make every parent, every teacher proud that they are putting in so much effort for you guys. So please, I don't know, I would like to say this, just be yourself, believe in yourself, and lead all of us to a beautiful future. Thank you.
thank you, ma'am, for your words of encouragement. I think we'll also look forward for any two students who would like to come up and express his or her views. I don't look down. I am standing here. Any two students? Anyone? What do you feel about today's event? Any of your friends must have spoken over years. What do you feel about it? Oh yes, I think I have got one coming up. Oh yes, we would like to know about the ripple effect. So I think we have one upcoming speaker.
About the talent, it was really inspiring. The students who talked were really on the edge of inspiring us. They taught us such lessons that were not earlier mentioned. They gave us a lesson at my school to take the initiative to express, to be a platform for the students to express their words from their heart, and it was really inspiring. Rishant's speech, I really got an idea that I should work upon, and I will definitely work upon it. So, Wisdom High and the students who took part in it, and that was really inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. I think this is the next speaker in the making over here. So I think in the upcoming sessions we'll see different speaker coming up over here. Okay, we also have another friend of us who's going to share his views.
Hello. I really like how the school arranged this TEDx. It
It shows the students their confidence and their future, and even the next year, even I want to participate. Even if I fail, I will participate this study. Thank you.
Thank you, Alvin. I think that was the objective. So what you rightly said is going to participate. Don't give up. Huge round of applause for all the participants and all the speakers over here.
I felt very inspired after listening to all these speeches, especially about the ones which taught me about choosing the right decisions, like learning to say no when you are not feeling comfortable. I learned many new things today, and I wish I can also be a part of this the next one. Thank you.
Thank you. Really, you're going to be a part of it next time. I'm sure about it.
I really I really felt proud that our school has arranged such wonderful program. I really liked it, and I'll surely want to participate the next year. And the speeches they were so fabulous, especially the one that Ryan said about these things. I'm also feeling proud about my friends that they were so fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya. I think the most difficult thing is they are doing an extemporary thing over here. So I think that's really something that really deserves a round of applause for all these members who are talking about it.
From this program which was arranged by our school Wisdom High, I was very motivated from this training program. This was the first school that I have seen that this program is invented. So I am I will try to participate in next training program, and I am very glad to do this training program. Thank you. So I feel this was the motivating program, and whoever I observed and the speakers, they were all confident and motivated me to speak in next TED talk. And even the music parts and all the concerts that took place, even that was good, and it was really I enjoyed it, and the program was overall good. So I try to take part in the next talk. Thank you. I felt motivated seeing my friend performing here. I got motivated most with my friend Arav. I was inspired with him, and it was a true incident happened with me. Thank you. The most inspiring speech was of Arav Aarti Gujral. She spoke about the power of being half-minded. It was truly inspiring. It taught me being half-minded is not a problem, but to find a solution is much difficult than finding the problem. I would look forward to be half-minded and find solutions for each and every problem I face. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this makes our job more successful over here is the audience was listening. And they took away a lot of takeaways from this particular session as such. Yes, so thank you for being a wonderful audience, and I think this program would not be successful without the parents. Thank you for taking out time and making yourself available over here to be with us and support our students. So can we have a round of applause for the parents too? Thank you. to request the students to be seated.
आ रहा है यार